tic-tac-toe. Every step we take is tic-tac-toe.
Ho! Hey.
Really quick, before this video continues, I wanted to give a special shout out to my buddy Ken Schallenberg for helping me with some camera decisions, especially when it comes to Sony and Nikon. He has the Z8. That boy's had all kind of cameras actually, but he was able to encourage me to rent the camera to see what's going on, which you'll see later on in his video. But Ken, thank you so much for always being there, buddy. I truly appreciate you. All right, on with the video. So my wife is making me do this. She's not really making me, she's asking me. But she's a school teacher, and she has this really cool microscope that they are gonna look at some liquids under it and see about any bacterial life or anything like that. So last night she was like, hey, you think you could stop on the way to school and get me some pond water? I'm like, no, I don't want to get some pond water. So to her surprise, she doesn't notice. But I'm going to get 2 bottles of different water actually. One's from the river, which is behind my house. The other is some pond water. So I need to go for a little drive. I'm gonna get some river water right there, because apparently it is leaking all the way through. Man, I wish I could hear this water. It's rolling. The Mississippi River has been known for well, being deadly, honestly. It's a fast-moving river, man. And the fact that the water is this close, from here to there, that means that if that thing keeps flowing, it'll crest over. If it does crest over, I'll come get some video and show you guys. On to the next one. Okay, so look, I rented the Sony a7R5 for that huge convention week that I had, and I had some portrait sessions downtown in the quarter, and I used both cameras, my Fuji H2S and the Sony a7R5. Like literally, they were on my chains, and I would click, 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 click. That's amazing. Wait a second. Hold on real quick. Click, click, click. Now, I'm going to show you both of these images, a couple of them, okay? I want you to tell me which one is Sony, which one is Fuji. Now, before you go trying to tear up the images, just understand where I'm coming from here as a consumer, okay? My Fuji system, first of all, my camera focus is way better than it used to, so firmware 7.0 works for me. I am not upgrading anymore. The darn camera works. Let's go. The Sony does an amazing job of focusing, but what I was getting at was now that my Fuji focuses way better than it used to, okay? Looking at final products, looking at 2 of the same image, 2 different cameras, does one image say that is worth a couple $1,000s more than what I'm already using? To me, the answer was no. It isn't, you know? Sony's a fine system. It really is. If I started off with Sony, I wouldn't need to go to Fuji. You know what I mean? It's like both the images aren't that much different to justify the several thousands of dollars to invest into another brand. So I am not here to force brands down your throat. I am a photographer that likes to shoot everything on manual mode. What that means is all you photographers out there that are using some kind of a program mode, even if it's aperture priority, if it's shutter priority, whatever it is, you're letting the camera do some of the work for you. I personally work faster on full manual. That's even in bright sun. So many people are like, pro photographers are lying to you. They're not using manual mode on full sun. Yeah, I am. I really am. So it's easy for me to say, okay, where's the ISO I want to stay at? What's the biggest my f-stop can go? How fast can my shutter go to expose my scenario? That's how I think all day long. Any camera you give me, I'm going to put that sucker on manual mode and shoot anyway. So the output of the quality of the image is all I honestly care about. How we use our equipment, you learn to do so over time. You know, every camera has some kind of a little quirk, something that's not perfect, and whatever that not perfect is, you learn to, what's the workaround, basically. Well, the Fuji camera before this firmware update, the focusing was not on like I needed it to be. And it was not user error, it was definitely camera, and it was getting me aggravated, and that's why I was looking into Sony. I still want to rent the Nikon, the ZF and the Z8, just for, you know, I just want to say, I like being able to do a job, an actual client job, and compare real images next to each other. And I can tell you straight up, when I rented the Fuji, the 100 meg file medium format camera, the 100S 2, those files are ridiculous, like mind-blowing ridiculous. So the $10,000 for that camera is justified. It is an upgrade. So from my experience renting the Sony camera compared to my XH2S, I don't see that much of a difference that justifies the several thousands of dollars more to invest in the Sony. Sorry, Sony. So look, with all these jobs that I've been photographing lately, there's one piece of software I use all the time. It's called Aftershoot. It's a culling and editing software, but I use it mainly for the culling. I thought I was going to use it for the editing, but I actually created one preset that seems to work 95% of the time for my Fuji camera. And it blows me away. You know how you have some accidental goodness that happens sometimes, especially when it comes to technology? Whatever I did, whether it was the auto white balance and the preset, Capture One allows you to stack a preset. And when you have your final tweak of this looks amazing, save that preset, okay? So I have that saved. Okay, so this is Capture One, and these images right here are out of the camera. This is the white balance out of the camera, which is not a problem because I'm a raw shooter anyway. What I would normally do is there's usually something gray or white in the image. So if you come over here and first you can just do auto white, see how that looks. Did a little something. See, there's a little more yellow in there. But what if you did this and you're like, okay, this is white. See how it's way yellow? Like the whole thing? All right, let me show you this. Reset, okay? This is amazing. I just highlighted all of these images. I'm gonna go to my styles. I'm gonna scroll down to this one preset that I tend to love a lot called GK Daylight version 2. Check this out. I'm gonna click it. It's gonna go through it. You're gonna see it do two things. Boom. Look at the difference. Doesn't that look awesome? Skin tones are good. Colors are nice. The entire thing isn't yellow like we just did the color picker. It's different. I just love it. And let me show you something else that's just amazing. Let's go to another folder. Go down to my GK Daylight version 2. I click it. I watch it work. Boom. It's really done. I have a awesome contrasty feel for this, meaning that my shadows and my blacks are a little down. You can click on adjustment and you can totally see what my settings are. But all I would normally have to do is take my shadows up a little bit, and I'm done. The colors are good. Everything else is fine. The image looks amazing. Okay, watch this. So you're inside. If you're a working photographer like me, doing many different kinds of photography, events and portraits and that kind of thing, then you'll understand what happens when you're shooting inside your seminars. Their lighting is not always great. Sometimes you're using your flash, a lot of times you're not. But check this out. So this is reset, okay? This is out of the camera. Not terrible, but let's come over here. Let's hit it. Changes its color. It does an auto white balance. It does a little tweak on the highlights. Check it out. Done. And look, let me show you. Reset. That's out of the camera. For most people, that looks fine. I like more of a punch. You know, I like more correct colors. I like the sharpness. But again, let's go to adjust. And there is nothing on the sharpness down here. So, I'm telling you, man, my Fuji camera's working. I use Aftershoot sometimes just to clear out the blurry images or the blinked eyes. It does that. How cool is that? So going to the selected folder and hitting export, I know those images don't have the blurry and don't have the eyes closed in them. Pretty darn cool, right? All right, see you in the next video. Glad you're here. Oh, by the way, I had a birthday. Happy birthday to me. See ya.